Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends and fellow dreamer, we live in a world where it's so easy to be swept away by the noise around us, the opinions, the comparisons, the expectations. We are constantly measuring our worth against the lives of others, against a standard that isn't even our own. But here's the truth. In 2025, the only person whose life you need to focus on is yours. I want you to imagine something for a moment. What if, just for this year, you stopped looking around at what everyone else is doing and started looking inward? What if you allowed yourself to be free from the pressure of others' judgments and the never-ending chase for external validation? The world will always be loud, the distractions will always be there, but your peace, your joy, your dreams, your growth, these are yours to nurture. Your journey is unique, and it's time to stop letting anyone else define it. You are not here to fit into a box, to live up to someone else's vision of success. You are here to create your own story. In 2025, let that story be the one where you choose to prioritize yourself, your well-being, your mental health, your ambitions. Start by setting boundaries, ones that protect your energy, that honor your needs, and that allow you to pour into your own life. Let me remind you that self-love is not selfish. It is the foundation on which you build everything else. It is the oxygen you need to breathe life into your goals, your dreams, and your relationships. In a world that constantly demands from you, taking time to focus on yourself is a revolutionary act. So in 2025, I challenge you to make a promise to yourself. Focus only on your own growth, not on the approval or expectations of others. Invest in your mind, body, and spirit. Give yourself the grace to fail, but also the courage to rise again. Build a life that excites you, not one that simply meets others' standards. Remember, you are worthy of all the love and care you give to others. You are enough just as you are, and when you focus on your own well-being, you will show up in the world in a way that is authentic and powerful. So let this year be your year, the year you choose you, the year you invest in the most important person in your life, yourself. Because when you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, you not only elevate your own life, you also inspire others to do the same. Sure, I'll expand on that first keynote without adding any closing sentences or headings. Here's the expanded version. Prioritizing your own growth and well-being is perhaps one of the most revolutionary actions you can take in today's fast-paced, often overwhelming world. In a society that constantly tells you to achieve more, be more, and do more for others, it's easy to lose sight of the importance of taking care of yourself. Yet this self-neglect can lead to burnout, feelings of inadequacy, and a sense of disconnection from what truly matters to you. By choosing to focus on your own growth and well-being, you're not only giving yourself permission to thrive, but you're also enabling yourself to show up more fully in your relationships, your work, and in the world. First, it's important to recognize what growth and well-being truly mean. They aren't just about career success or physical health, although those are important aspects. Growth is about evolving as a person, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. It's about cultivating new perspectives, challenging yourself to be better, and embracing the journey of becoming. Well-being, on the other hand, involves nurturing your mental, physical, and emotional health so that you can feel whole and balanced. Both are deeply interconnected. One cannot flourish without the other. To prioritize your growth, you first need to understand that your journey is uniquely yours. There's no universal timeline or blueprint for personal growth. While many of us are conditioned to compare ourselves to others, to measure our success based on someone else's standards or achievements, real growth happens when we stop focusing on what others are doing and start paying attention to our own. When you allow yourself the freedom to grow at your own pace, you create space for authentic development. It's about understanding that your worth is not tied to the accomplishments of others, but to the effort you put into becoming a better version of yourself. This means embracing your failures and setbacks as part of the growth process. In fact, they're often the most valuable lessons. When you're focused on your own growth, you realize that failure is not a reflection of your abilities, but a stepping stone to your next level of success. The most successful people are often the ones who have failed the most because they've learned to view failure as an opportunity for reflection and improvement rather than something to be feared or avoided. Prioritizing your growth also means being honest with yourself about what you truly want in life, rather than following the desires of others. Many times, we chase after goals or dreams that are influenced by societal expectations, family pressure, or the standards set by peers. But when you take the time to evaluate your true desires, those that come from within you, not from external forces, you begin to chart a course that aligns with your authentic self. This requires self-awareness and sometimes the courage to make decisions that may be difficult or unpopular. It may mean stepping away from certain relationships, leaving behind certain careers, or simply saying no to opportunities that don't serve your true purpose. Equally important is prioritizing your well-being. It's easy to become so consumed with the desire to achieve or to help others that we forget to take care of ourselves. However, when we neglect our own needs, we run the risk of burning out, becoming disconnected from our passions, or experiencing emotional exhaustion. Just as you would never ask someone else to give more than they have to offer, you must not ask the same of yourself. You must truly think about what is right for you. You must never allow for your own well-being. You must never ask the same of yourself. If you deplete your own energy without refilling it, you will have little to give to the world, to your loved ones, or to your goals. Self-care, therefore, is not a luxury or something you do only when you have time. It's a vital part of maintaining your ability to show up as the best version of yourself in all areas of your life. Prioritizing your well-being starts with taking care of your body. Physical health is often the first thing we neglect when life gets busy. Yet our physical state profoundly impacts our emotional and mental health. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient rest are essential to maintaining the energy and resilience needed for growth. When you feel physically strong and healthy, you have more confidence, clarity, and stamina to pursue your personal and professional goals. Mental well-being is equally important. In a world that constantly demands more from us, it's easy for our minds to become cluttered with stress, worry, and anxiety. Prioritizing mental well-being means setting aside time for mindfulness, self-reflection, and mental clarity. Whether through meditation, journaling, or simply practicing deep breathing, taking moments to clear your mind allows you to focus on the present and make decisions that are rooted in calmness rather than reaction. Mental well-being also involves cultivating a mindset that supports your growth. This includes positive self-talk, a belief in your own potential, and a willingness to challenge limiting beliefs that may be holding you back. Emotional well-being, too, cannot be overlooked. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of life and ignore how we're truly feeling. However, emotional health is foundational to how we engage with others and respond to challenges. When we neglect our emotions, they can fester and affect our relationships, our work, and even our physical health. To prioritize emotional well-being, it's important to create space for vulnerability and self-expression. Allow yourself to feel your emotions without judgment. This doesn't mean you have to act on every emotion you feel, but acknowledging your emotions allows you to process and release them, making it easier to move forward with clarity and purpose. Prioritizing your own growth and well-being also means embracing the importance of rest. In today's world, rest is often seen as an indulgence or a luxury, something we only do when we've earned it. But rest is an essential component of both growth and well-being. When you take time to rest, you give your body and mind the chance to recharge, which in turn improves your ability to perform and make decisions. Without rest, we become run down, overwhelmed, and less effective in all areas of our lives. True growth is not about constantly doing more, but about knowing when to step back, reflect, and rejuvenate. Prioritizing your growth and well-being requires setting boundaries. In both your personal and professional life, you need to establish limits that protect your time, energy, and emotions. Saying no to things that drain you is not selfish. It's an act of self-preservation. Often we feel obligated to say yes to everything, whether it's helping others, taking on additional work, or attending events, but overcommitting leads to exhaustion and resentment, which ultimately hinders your growth. By setting healthy boundaries, you can focus on the activities and people that truly align with your goals and values without feeling guilty for putting yourself first. As you focus on your growth and well-being, it's also important to recognize the power of small, consistent actions. Many times we think growth requires massive, sweeping changes, but real transformation occurs through daily, incremental steps. Whether it's reading a book, learning a new skill, practicing gratitude, or taking a walk in nature, small actions add up over time. These moments of care and growth compound, and eventually they lead to profound changes in your life. It's not about making grand gestures. It's about showing up for yourself every day in big ways and small, with the intention of becoming better than you were yesterday. When you focus on prioritizing your growth and well-being, you begin to change the narrative in your own life. Instead of measuring your success by external markers, the number of followers you have, the awards you've received, or the approval of others, you start to measure your success by your own inner peace, your resilience, and your ability to live authentically. This shift is incredibly liberating. It means you no longer have to prove your worth to anyone. You simply live as the person you are meant to be. Prioritizing your own growth and well-being isn't just about creating a better life for yourself. It's about becoming the best version of yourself so that you can give your best to others. When you are fulfilled, healthy, and aligned with your true self, you can offer love, support, and inspiration to those around you in a way that feels authentic and genuine. When you focus on your own growth, you raise your vibration, and in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. By choosing to prioritize your own growth and well-being, you are taking responsibility for your own happiness and success. You are acknowledging that you are worthy of the care, attention, and effort required to live a fulfilling life. It's not an act of selfishness, it's an act of self-respect. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And by filling your own cup first, you ensure that you have everything you need to shine brightly in the world and to help others do the same. This is the power of prioritizing yourself. It's not just about you, it's about creating a ripple effect that can change the lives of everyone you touch. Setting boundaries to protect your energy is an essential practice that allows you to maintain your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. In a world that constantly demands more of your time, attention, and effort, it can feel impossible to carve out the space necessary to focus on what truly matters to you. The people around you, whether family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers, often ask for things, and while we may feel compelled to help and be there for everyone, doing so without boundaries can leave you feeling depleted, frustrated, and disconnected from your own needs. Boundaries aren't just about saying no to others, they're about saying yes to yourself, ensuring that you have the resources, energy, time, and mental space to nurture your own growth and well-being. The first step in setting boundaries is recognizing that you have a right to them. For many, especially those who are empathetic or naturally people-pleasing, the idea of setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable or even selfish. You might worry that saying no will upset someone or cause them to think poorly of you. But the reality is that boundaries are not an act of rejection or disregard for others. They are an act of self-respect and self-care. When you set a boundary, you're taking control of your life and your energy. You're choosing to protect your own well-being so that you can show up as the best version of yourself for others. Remember, if you don't prioritize your own needs, you're likely to burn out, and that doesn't benefit anyone. One of the most important aspects of boundaries is recognizing that not every request made of you requires a response or an action. It's easy to feel like every email, message, or phone call demands an immediate reply. But when you constantly respond to others' demands without taking into account your own needs, you allow your energy to be spread too thin. It's crucial to learn how to assess each situation and decide whether it's something you truly want to engage with, whether it aligns with your values, and whether it serves your own well-being. Setting boundaries involves knowing when to step back and give yourself space to breathe, reflect, and recharge, rather than constantly reacting to the needs of others. Another key element of boundary setting is understanding that not all boundaries are physical or logistical. Many are emotional and mental. People may not always ask directly for your time or your help, but they might still drain your energy through negative or toxic conversations, or by leaning on you for emotional support without offering the same in return. These types of interactions can take a heavy toll on your emotional state, making it difficult to focus on your own growth and peace of mind. Setting emotional boundaries means learning to say no to conversations, situations, or people that bring unnecessary negativity into your life. It means protecting your mental space from stress and emotional exhaustion so you can maintain a sense of calm and clarity. Of course, emotional boundaries don't just protect you from others, they also protect you from yourself. Sometimes we engage in self-critical thought patterns or put ourselves down, believing that we're not good enough or capable enough. Setting boundaries with your own thoughts means recognizing when these negative patterns are taking hold and actively choosing to interrupt them. It means saying no to self-doubt, to perfectionism, and to unrealistic expectations you may place on yourself. Just as you would distance yourself from a toxic relationship, you should distance yourself from negative self-talk that diminishes your worth. Physical boundaries are another area where you must be vigilant. Your time and your physical presence are finite resources and you need to protect them. This means learning to say no when you're overwhelmed by obligations or when you've simply reached your limit. It might mean turning down an invitation to an event you don't want to attend or saying no to taking on additional work when your plate is already full. It also means allowing yourself rest and downtime without guilt. People will often try to pull you in different directions, and if you don't have clear physical boundaries, you might find yourself overcommitted, drained, and unable to focus on what truly matters to you. Rest is a vital part of personal growth, and without it, you won't have the energy to pursue your. There's also a power in communicating your boundaries clearly and respectfully. It's one thing to have boundaries, but if you're not able to express them effectively, they can easily be overlooked or ignored. Communicating your boundaries with confidence is crucial. This doesn't mean being harsh or confrontational. It means expressing your needs and limits in a way that is firm, but respectful. For example, if someone repeatedly asks for your time or energy, it's important to communicate when you're available and when you need to prioritize your own well-being. It's about being assertive and standing up for yourself, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. When you communicate your boundaries, you teach others how to respect you, and you model healthy self-care practices that may inspire them to do the same. Setting boundaries also requires flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and there will be times when you need to adjust your boundaries to accommodate unforeseen circumstances or changing priorities. However, flexibility doesn't mean compromising your core needs or sacrificing your well-being. It simply means being able to assess a situation, adjust. You may need to extend yourself on occasion, but only if it doesn't come at the expense of your long-term health or happiness. Setting boundaries is an ongoing process. It's not something you do once and forget about. Your needs, priorities, and circumstances will shift over time, so it's important to revisit and reassess your boundaries regularly. What worked for you last year might not serve you in the same way now. The key is to continuously listen to yourself, to check in with your energy, and to honor your own limits. As you grow and evolve, your boundaries will evolve with you. When you set boundaries, you create space for what matters most in your life. You protect your energy, and you ensure that you have the time and resources to focus on your own growth and well-being. Boundaries allow you to show up more fully for yourself and others, to maintain your emotional and mental health, and to live with intention and purpose. By saying no when you need to, you're really saying yes to a more balanced, fulfilling life. And that's the kind of life that will support your personal growth and enable you to shine in all areas of your life. Certainly, here's the expanded version of the third keynote on practicing self-love and self-acceptance in 750 words. Self-love and self-acceptance are two of the most powerful tools you can have in your life. In a world that constantly asks for more from you, where external validation often takes precedence, practicing self-love can feel like a radical act. Yet, it's one of the most important things you can do for your own well-being and personal growth. Loving and accepting yourself are not just about feeling good about yourself on good days. They're about treating yourself with kindness, compassion, and respect, no matter what challenges or imperfections you face. At its core, self-love is the practice of recognizing your inherent worth and treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to others. We often find it easy to love those around us, to support friends, family, and colleagues, and to show them care and concern. However, when it comes to ourselves, many of us struggle to offer the same level of unconditional love. We're often our own harshest critics, focusing on our flaws, mistakes, and shortcomings, rather than celebrating our strengths and achievements. Self-love, then, is about learning to shift that inner dialogue, choosing to be gentle with yourself, and acknowledging that you deserve to be treated with love, regardless of your flaws or imperfections. One of the first steps in practicing self-love is learning to silence the negative self-talk that so often occupies our minds. It's natural to have moments of self-doubt, but when you begin to notice patterns of negative thinking, whether it's telling yourself that you're not good enough or comparing yourself to others, take a step back. Understand that these thoughts are not reflections of reality, but are shaped by societal expectations or past experiences. Practice replacing those thoughts with affirmations and statements that recognize your worth, value, and potential. When you focus on the positive aspects of yourself, it becomes easier to cultivate a sense of self-love. It might feel awkward or unnatural at first, but with time, you will start to believe the kind words you tell yourself. Self-acceptance goes hand in hand with self-love, and it's equally as important. While self-love is about nurturing yourself with compassion, self-acceptance is about embracing yourself exactly as you are, flaws and all. Often we hold ourselves to impossible standards, believing that we have to be perfect in order to be worthy of love and success. Until we place unrealistic expectations on ourselves and think that we have to look a certain way, achieve certain things, or act in a specific way to be accepted. But the truth is, you are already worthy of love, success, and happiness just as you are right now. Self-acceptance is about letting go of the need for perfection. It's about understanding that mistakes, failures, and setbacks are a natural part of life. Rather than judging yourself harshly for your imperfections, self-acceptance allows you to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. It encourages you to embrace your humanity, knowing that no one is perfect, and that's what makes you beautifully unique. When you accept yourself, you free yourself from the pressure to meet external expectations and give yourself permission to simply be. It's about releasing the need to prove your worth and accepting that who you are in this moment is enough. Practicing self-love and self-acceptance also means setting aside time to nurture yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Self-care is an expression of love, and it's essential for your well-being. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and neglect your own needs. But when you take time to care for yourself, you show yourself. Self-care doesn't have to be extravagant or time-consuming. It can be as simple as taking a walk in nature, reading a book, meditating, or enjoying a warm cup of tea. It's about prioritizing your own needs and making space for activities that recharge and rejuvenate you. When you care for your body, your mind, and your heart, you're telling yourself that you deserve to feel good, to be well, and to experience joy. Another crucial aspect of self-love and self-acceptance is learning to forgive yourself. We all make mistakes, and often we carry guilt or regret from past decisions or actions. However, holding on to this emotional baggage only weighs us down and prevents us from moving forward. Practicing forgiveness is not about excusing or forgetting what happened. It's about letting go of the negative emotions that hold you back. It's about accepting that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. When you forgive yourself, you release the grip that past mistakes have on your present, and you allow yourself to step into the future with a clean slate. In addition to forgiving yourself, self-love also means setting boundaries to protect your peace and emotional health. When you love yourself, you recognize that you don't need to tolerate toxic people, situations, or environments that drain your energy or make you feel less than. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, and it's an important way to honor yourself and your needs. Focusing on your unique journey is one of the most empowering decisions you can make. In a world where we're constantly surrounded by comparisons, whether through social media, societal expectations, or the success stories of those around us, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that your path is yours alone. Each person's journey is shaped by a combination of experiences, challenges, opportunities, and choices that are completely unique to them. Yet, too often we try to follow someone else's path, believing that their successes and milestones should be ours as well. The truth, however, is that comparing yourself to others is not only unproductive, but it also prevents you from fully embracing your own individuality and potential. When you focus on your unique journey, you stop measuring your worth by the standards set by others. You begin to recognize that your experiences, your challenges, and your growth are valid in their own right. This mindset shift is essential for personal development because it allows you to define success on your terms, rather than through the lens of someone else's achievements. The idea that there's a single formula for success is a myth. What works for one person might not work for you, and that's okay. Embracing your own path means understanding that your life does not need to mirror anyone else's in order to be meaningful or valuable. One of the most important aspects of focusing on your own journey is acknowledging and accepting where you are right now. We are often so focused on where we want to be or what we haven't yet achieved that we fail to appreciate the progress we've already made. Your journey is not linear. It's full of twists and turns, moments of growth, and periods of rest. Every step, whether forward or backward, contributes to who you are becoming. When you take the time to reflect on your journey and honor the lessons learned along the way, you start to see how far you've come, even if the destination feels distant. In today's world, the pressure to achieve or be successful can be overwhelming. From a young age, we are taught to set goals and chase after them with relentless determination. While goal setting is important, it's equally important to remember that the process is just as valuable as the destination. Your journey is about the person you become along the way, not just the achievements you unlock. It's about learning new things, discovering who you are, and being open to change. When you focus solely on the end goal, you risk missing the beauty of the journey itself, the moments of growth, the connections you make, and the lessons that shape your perspective. The pressure to keep up with others can lead to self-doubt and insecurity, but focusing on your unique journey helps you build confidence in your own path. You begin to understand that everyone has their own timeline. Just because someone else achieves something at a certain age or stage doesn't mean you should be doing the same. Success is not a race. Your progress is not diminished because someone else has reached a milestone before you. Trusting in your own timing is a crucial part of staying true to your journey. While others may seem to be moving ahead, you are moving at your own pace, with your own unique set of experiences and skills that will help you reach your goals when the time is right. In focusing on your unique journey, it's also important to let go of the need for constant validation from others. It's easy to seek approval, especially in a world that thrives on likes, shares, and comments. But this external validation can be fleeting. It's important to cultivate internal validation, where you measure your progress, success, and worth based on your own standards, not those of others. You are the one who determines what success looks like for you. When you define success on your terms, you free yourself from the need to meet someone else's expectations, allowing you to pursue what truly fulfills you. Part of focusing on your journey involves embracing the detours and challenges that come your way. It's easy to think that a straight path is the only way to success, but often it's the detours, the unexpected twists and turns that teach us the most. Challenges force us to grow, to adapt, and to think creatively. They push us out of our comfort zones, revealing parts of ourselves we may not have known existed. When you shift your perspective to see challenges as opportunities for growth, you stop fearing setbacks and start viewing them as integral parts of your journey. Every obstacle you overcome adds to your story, and each one shapes who you are becoming. Another key component of focusing on your unique journey is embracing your individuality. There's no need to conform to societal pressures or follow trends just because they seem to be the right thing to do. Your voice, your values, and your passions are what make you who you are, and they deserve to be expressed authentically. When you try to imitate others or follow a path that isn't aligned with your true self, you suppress your own potential. True fulfillment comes when you allow yourself to step into your authenticity and embrace what makes you different. This is not about rejecting others or their experiences, but about recognizing that your experiences and perspectives are just as valid, valuable, and deserving of expression. As you focus on your own journey, it's essential to surround yourself with people who support and uplift you, not those who make you feel like you're falling behind. While it's important to have a community of people who inspire and motivate you, it's equally important to stay away from those who constantly compare or try to dictate the direction of your life. Relationships should be a source of strength, not pressure. The people you choose to spend time with should encourage you to grow in ways that align with your values and goals, not those that align with someone else's. Focusing on your unique journey also means accepting the seasons of life. There will be times when you are moving quickly, achieving goals and experiencing growth. Other times you may need to slow down, rest, and reflect. Life is a series of ebbs and flows, and each season serves a purpose. Embracing the different stages of your journey allows you to appreciate where you are, even when things seem uncertain or stagnant. Trust that each phase is contributing to your overall growth, and that every experience is adding to the richness of your life. When you focus on your unique journey, you give yourself the freedom to live authentically, to make mistakes and to learn from them without judgment. You allow yourself to be fully present in your own life, appreciating the person you are today, while also growing into the person you are becoming. Focusing on your journey is not about comparing yourself to anyone else. It's about honoring your path, your timing, and your individual experiences, knowing that they are exactly what you need to become the person you're meant to be. Practicing gratitude daily is one of the simplest yet most transformative practices you can integrate into your life. In a world that often focuses on what's missing, what's not yet achieved, or what's going wrong, shifting your focus to what you are thankful for can completely change your mindset. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a way of life, a way of seeing the world, and a way of interacting with the people and experiences around you. When practiced regularly, it has the power to shift your perspective, improve your mental and emotional well-being, and foster a deeper connection to yourself and others. The first step in cultivating gratitude is recognizing that it doesn't have to be reserved for the big moments or the obvious blessings in life. It's easy to feel grateful when something significant happens, like landing a new job, getting a promotion, or celebrating a milestone. But the true power of gratitude lies in appreciating the small things that often go unnoticed. Gratitude is in the quiet moments, the warm cup of coffee you enjoy in the morning, the laughter shared with a friend, the beauty of a sunset, or the comfort of your own home. These are the moments that make life beautiful, and when you learn to appreciate them, you open yourself up to a deeper sense of joy and contentment. One of the most profound aspects of gratitude is its ability to shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. In our fast-paced, goal-driven world, it's easy to become fixated on what we don't have or what we still need to achieve. We're often taught to constantly strive for more, to push harder, to never be satisfied. While ambition is important, it can also create a sense of dissatisfaction that makes it difficult to appreciate what's right in front of us. Practicing gratitude helps counteract this mindset. When you regularly acknowledge the good things in your life, you begin to realize that there is always something to be thankful for, even in the most challenging of circumstances. Gratitude turns your attention away from what's missing and toward what's present, allowing you to see the richness that already exists in your life. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is its ability to increase resilience. Life can be difficult, and we all face struggles at some point. Whether it's personal loss, disappointment, failure, or uncertainty, challenges are inevitable. But when you cultivate a daily practice of gratitude, you create a buffer against negativity. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it helps you see beyond it. It enables you to recognize the silver linings, the lessons learned, and the opportunities for growth even in the midst of adversity. When you focus on what you are grateful for, even on difficult days, it helps to reframe your experience and gives you the strength to keep moving forward. Gratitude also has a profound impact on your relationships. When you express gratitude toward others, whether through words or actions, it fosters connection and strengthens bonds. A simple thank you can go a long way in making someone feel seen and appreciated. It doesn't just show the other person that you value them, it also deepens your own sense of appreciation for the people in your life. When you regularly acknowledge the good in others, whether it's the kindness of a friend or the support of a colleague, it nurtures positive relationships and creates a culture of mutual respect and understanding. In addition to improving relationships with others, gratitude also enhances your relationship with yourself. When you take the time each day to acknowledge what you are grateful for, you develop a greater sense of self-awareness and self-compassion. Instead of focusing on your flaws or shortcomings, gratitude encourages you to recognize the strengths, qualities, and achievements that make it helps you embrace yourself with kindness and acceptance, acknowledging the value you bring to the world. Practicing self-gratitude can be a powerful way to combat negative self-talk and build a more positive self-image. It reminds you that you are worthy of love, appreciation, and all the good things life has to offer. There are many ways to practice gratitude, and it's important to find a method that works best for you. One simple way to start is by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. These can be small, everyday things like a good conversation with a friend, a delicious meal, or a moment of peace in a busy day. Over time, this practice trains your mind to focus on the positive and helps you build a gratitude mindset. If journaling isn't your style, you can practice gratitude in other ways, such as verbalizing it aloud, creating a gratitude jar, or taking a few moments of reflection before bed to mentally list the things you're thankful for.